What is up everyone, it's Alex here. This is your stimulus check, second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. Before we get into the video, I just want to tell you that you are amazing, and if you enjoyed this video in any way, shape or form, please consider giving it a like and sharing it on social media. Alright, let's start with the federal unemployment benefits. The $600 federal unemployment benefits will end before the expected date of July 31st, 2020. As a matter of fact, the federal unemployment benefits will end on July 25th or July 26th, depending on the state's calendar. This was a little bit expected because the wording of the federal unemployment benefits ending date was on or before July 31st. So it makes sense, but let me tell you, when about 30 million people will have their federal unemployment benefits cut off on July 25th or 26th, things will get a lot worse than they are right now. The ending of the $600 federal unemployment benefit will have a multiplier effect on the economy. Just think about it. The consumer spending is going to go down the toilet, then as a result the GDP is going to go down too. Also, the standard of living of the people that received the benefits is also going to decrease, which will lead them to spend less even if they have some sort of savings. I'm saying this because people will try to stretch their dollars to last a longer period of time, so they will have more safety. At least that's my point of view. Let's hope that Congress will take into consideration an extension of the federal unemployment benefits past July 25th or 26th, because otherwise things are going to get messy. Moving on to the stimulus check updates, the Government Accountability Office found that about 1.1 million stimulus checks were sent to deceased people, totaling around $1.4 billion. The good part about this is that IRS requires those stimulus checks to be returned, as well as those that were sent to incarcerated people. So, if you received a stimulus check for someone that died before the receipt, make sure that you follow the instructions on the IRS website to return the stimulus check, because otherwise, they might come after it. A partial exception to this is if spouses filed their taxes jointly and if one of the spouses died before the receipt, in which case the surviving spouse can keep the stimulus check. As for the economy overall, the single-day cases have reached an all-time high and the reopenings are slowing down. The economy is definitely taking a hit from the new cases and from the new hotspots, and it definitely takes a toll on the rocket ship that it's being sold to us by the government. Also, the unemployment claims are still at over 1 million every single week. And if you ask me, that's insane, because you have every single week another 1 million claims for unemployment. I don't know how they think that things are getting better. I dearly hope that Congress and the White House will not put a serious emphasis on the June's job report, because it's going to be a very, very misleading one. Very misleading one. I'm saying that it's going to be a misleading one because it's going to take into consideration the initial ramp up of the reopenings that happened during the beginning of June till mid-June, to find out by the end of June that things are not as good, and most of the businesses that require a physical presence, especially restaurants, cannot properly function in the current environment with the bug spreading like a damn plague. There were many businesses that opened up and had to close down because some of the staff caught the virus, and there are other businesses that can only operate at either 50% capacity or 25% capacity, which is not optimal from the perspective of generating revenues. If you are opening up at 50% capacity and 25% capacity, but you are still losing money from month to month, then it doesn't really help in any way, shape or form to open up, to pay employees, to hire employees, to rehire employees, and give people a place to work, because you are bleeding money every single week and every single month. So I really hope that Congress and the White House will not put an emphasis on the June's job report, because the June's job report will probably look better than the May's job report, just because it's going to take into consideration the early stages of the reopenings. And it will lead to kind of falsely positive information. And if Congress and the White House will base its decision on kind of falsely positive information, then that decision is going to be questionable, or the foundation of that decision is very questionable. So hopefully they will not put a high emphasis on the June's job report that's going to come out on July 2nd, and they will actually, I don't know, just tip their toes a little bit into the economy to see how things really are. As for the tiny stock market update, Facebook had a quite serious drop yesterday because Verizon and Coca-Cola announced that they are going to pause their ad spending on Facebook for the next 30 days. And there's also a big list of companies that's boycotting against Facebook because they believe that Facebook does not do enough to combat misinformation and racism on their platform. So that's one of the reasons why the Facebook stock is down 8.32%, which is nice that it's going down because it will allow many of us to get into the stock at a reasonable margin of safety. But in my opinion, there's still room for the stock to go down and then get into the stock, as opposed to just this mere drop from Friday. Please keep in mind that this is not financial advice and it's just my personal opinion on what happened, and this is just my own research on the stock. So whatever you do at your own discretion, and that's the reasonable disclaimer that I have to make. Alright everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. If you did so, please consider giving it a like and sharing it on social media. Please consider subscribing if you want to learn more about personal finance and investing and be up to date with the stimulus news. And until next time, take care and have a wonderful day, and don't forget that you are amazing.